Welcome back to the deep dive. For the last couple of years, the whole conversation around AI has been, well, it's been about the individual.
Very much so.
We've talked about it as your personal research assistant, right?
Yeah.
That tool that handles your emails, that summarizes the documents that only you need to see.
It's been a one-on-one relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that whole paradigm, it created silos, didn't it?
It absolutely did. I mean, think about it. If I used an AI to find some brilliant insight, the benefit it stopped with me.
Right.
And if I wanted my team to get in on that, I'd have to, manually copy my prompt, then copy the huge response from the AI.
Oh, it's so clunky. You paste it into the team channel.
And then you spend another 10 minutes trying to explain the original context so they even understand what the AI is talking about. The intelligence was there, sure, but the corroboration was just full of friction.
Well, based on the materials we've gathered for today, it looks like that entire dynamic has just gone through a tectonic shift. We're not really talking about AI as a personal helper anymore. We are looking at its official launch as a full-fledged team member.
And that's the key.
So our focus today is on OpenAI's new group chat feature inside ChatGPT.
And this is a huge deal. It's not just another feature. I mean, this is a foundational change in how collaboration tools are built.
So the core claim, and this is what we have to dig into.
Right. Our mission for this deep dive is to unpack these massive claims. They're saying this will revolutionize team collaboration, streamline workflows, and totally redefine productivity.
Huge promises.
Huge. And we're going to stick to the hard data, the specific announcements they made in the rollout.
I find this so compelling because the core shift really is moving from that private one-on-one consultation,
where the AI is only hearing your voice?
Your query, to a shared collective kind of multi-threaded conversation. The AI isn't just listening to you anymore. It's listening to everyone in the chat at the same time and absorbing all of that context.
In real time.
In real time. And this, for you listening, is where the real knowledge gain begins.
It forces you to rethink what collective intelligence even means when you plug an objective machine into that messy human group dynamic. It's the difference between, say, having 20 smart people working on their own.
In parallel.
Right. And having 20 smart people working together in concert with this unified, objective context keeper in the middle of it all.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics. Let's start by defining the boundaries of this new space, the cold, hard specs. They tell you a lot about who OpenAI is targeting with this. The sources confirm this is all happening inside the existing ChatGPT environment. So it's not a new app. It just plugs into the models we already know.
And crucially, the big spec, the one that tells the whole story, is the scaling factor. This thing supports up to 20 participants.
20. That number is maybe the most important detail in the whole announcement.
It is because it's so strategic. It tells you they aren't trying to build for a Fortune 500 company-wide town hall.
Right, not thousands of users.
And it's not just a small tweak on the one-on-one chat. It's something different.
Exactly. If it was 1,000 users, the AI's role would be pretty simple, right? It would be like real-time transcription or basic keyword summaries.
Yeah.
But 20, that number tells you exactly who the target market is.
Yeah.
It's the departmental team, the small project group.
The task force.
Yes, the task force dealing with really specific, detailed problems. It's aimed right at the engine room of knowledge work.
And you can't overstate the significance of targeting that size. That's the size where most of the high-friction work, the actual creation of knowledge, happens every day.
It's where context gets lost.
It's where context loss is most expensive and collaboration is hardest. I mean, managing 20 complex streams of human thought at the same time it's a monumentally different technical challenge than just handling one.
Let's dig into that contrast, because the tech has to make a huge leap here. The old one-on-one chats were simple. A clean prompt goes in.
A single context window.
The AI processes it, a response comes out. What are the specific technical challenges when you suddenly have 20 people talking at once, maybe even disagreeing?
Well, you're raising some critical questions there about computational load and context management that go way beyond just raw processing power. First, the AI isn't just processing a static prompt. It's a real-time, multi-threaded listener.
Meaning what, exactly?
Meaning it has to tell the difference between casual chatter, jokes, side comments, and the really important stuff.
Like decision statements.
Or action items or technical objections. It has to filter the signal from the noise constantly.
And that filtering process alone sounds incredibly complex. How does it know what counts as context that all 20 people need to remember versus what's just filler?
It needs a really advanced architecture to maintain a single unified context, but one that's constantly changing. Think of it like this. For every single thing said by any of those 20 people, the AI has to instantly score that statement against everything that came before. So if 5 people are talking about the budget and 15 are talking about the project timeline, the AI has to track both threads. It has to understand they're related. And it has to be ready to synthesize a plan that addresses both without getting confused.
That level of dynamic synthesis, that's what makes the 20-person limit so impressive.
And so challenging, technically.
So the AI is basically this, the super sophisticated data management layer. It's dynamically creating and weighting the importance of every single input from every person.
Pretty much, yeah. It has to make sure that if, say, user 18 shares a key link to a document, that link instantly becomes relevant context for everyone else and for the AI itself.
And this is all vital for the user experience. This group chat thing transforms what was, individual knowledge retrieval into a real shared discussion.
It does. The AI is now privy to the full context of the team's conversation as it unfolds. Imagine a common scenario. A team has been debating a project scope for 3 days. You've got hundreds of messages, complex sub-discussions.
A nightmare. And traditionally, if I'm a new team member coming in, or I was on vacation for 2 days, I'd have to scroll back through all that, trying to piece together the story.
It's a massive friction point.
A huge time sink.
But with the AI embedded in the chat, that friction just disappears. The AI has already absorbed all those messages. It can instantly generate a dynamic briefing for that new person.
And not just a summary of messages.
No, a synthesis of the status.
Yeah.
It can say, the consensus decision was X, but user 7 raised a critical blocker about resource Y, and the main open item is still task Z, which isn't assigned yet.
That moves the AI from a simple summarizer to a knowledge continuity agent.
Exactly. It's the objective truth about the state of the project.
Yeah.
It's independent of human bias or selective memory.
And just think about the qualitative difference for the team. If, say, 15 out of 20 people are skeptical about a new strategy for Q4, the AI doesn't just note that skepticism. Because it has the collective context, it can immediately pull up the Q3 performance numbers, or maybe a competitive analysis that someone mentioned 5 hours ago.
And inject that right into the chat.
It grounds the skepticism in verifiable data instantly. It moves the conversation from just emotional reactions to data-driven refinement.
And that is the very essence of amplified collective intelligence. The tech understands that human collaboration gets bogged down by information asymmetry, by context loss.
So by providing these advanced synthesis capabilities at the exact scale where knowledge work is most intense, OpenAI is going after a really pervasive problem in modern companies.
It means every single participant has the same level of context instantly. And that is a powerful, powerful foundation for effective collaboration.
Okay, so we get the mechanics, we get the strategic target size. Let's shift the lens now to the actual user experience. Yeah. What does this AI do for a team on a Monday morning?
Right, the practical application.
The source material points to 3 specific areas: brainstorming, project planning, and communication. We've been calling this the enhancement triad, and this is where we can get into some concrete scenarios.
And these 3 activities, generating ideas, structuring them into a plan, and making sure everyone's on the same page, they are the highest friction points for any team.
Absolutely. If the AI can genuinely improve them, then those claims about revolutionizing workflows start to sound pretty plausible.
They do.
Let's start with the first one. Brainstorming catalyst. We have all been in that painful, chaotic session where 20 people are just firing off ideas.
And one poor person is trying to capture it all on a whiteboard.
And they miss half of it, and then spend hours after the meeting trying to make sense of their own scribbles. This feature is designed to take that logistical burden away from the humans.
The change here is profound because the AI isn't just summarizing at the end, it is an active participant in real time.
So walk us through a scenario.
Okay, let's imagine a team of, say, 15 marketing and product people. They're brainstorming new features for a launch. Ideas are flowing fast. Feature A, feature B, pricing model X, target demographic Y.
In a normal chat, that's just a long, unorganized stream of text, a waterfall of ideas.
Exactly. But with the AI embedded, it's synthesizing these inputs in milliseconds. As 5 people are talking about features and 10 others are talking about pricing,
I see.
the AI instantly organizes the session into 2 visible tracked streams. It could label them feature set ideas and monetization models.
And then it can spot connections.
Immediately, it can identify the overlap and ask a critical structuring question. Something like, I'm seeing heavy input on both feature set A and monetization model Y. Should we pause to make sure A is actually feasible under model Y?
That speed and categorization,
Yeah.
it enhances the quality of the session on the fly. The team isn't just throwing ideas at a wall.
No, they're instantly refining them, categorizing them, vetting them. It's a continuous feedback loop powered by this objective analysis. The humans are then free to do what they do best.
The creative lateral thinking part.
Exactly. Knowing that the structural integrity of the whole session is being managed for them.
And what about finding gaps?
It's great for that, too. If the AI has processed 20 brilliant ideas but notices that nobody has mentioned, say, regulatory compliance.
A necessary step for this product.
Right. It can just inject that into the discussion. A simple prompt. Based on the suggested features, a critical point is missing: the regulatory approval timeline. It just elevates the quality of the output by making sure all the bases are covered.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's move to the second part of the triad: optimize project planning. The sources say this helps teams bring AI into daily planning.
And planning is where different opinions and complex documents really collide.
Planning sessions are basically the battleground of assumptions, right?
That's a perfect way to put it. Team members are all working from different interpretations of old documents or data. The AI can act as the impartial source of truth in that conversation.
Give us a specific planning scenario. Let's say a post-mortem planning session for a big project.
Okay. A team of 12 project managers. They're debating resource allocation for the next quarter based on what happened last quarter. Half the team thinks they need more people because the workload felt huge.
And the other half argues they just need to be more efficient because they went over budget last time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the whole meeting just stalls on that factual disagreement.
The classic solution is someone saying, okay, let me go pull the budget report and I'll get back to you all tomorrow. Latency.
Total latency. With the AI present in the chat, that latency is gone. The AI has the context of the whole discussion. It can instantly access and pull those external data points into the chat.
It resolves the argument.
Instantly. It might say, the data shows Team A exceeded the budget by 15%, but their task completion time was 20% faster than projected.
That is powerful. It cuts right through the fog of assumptions.
Yeah.
And once the facts are on the table, the AI can then help structure the rest of the conversation.
Yes, it shifts the focus immediately from what happened to what do we do next. The AI can start creating a project timeline, asking clarifying questions based on the facts.
Like what?
Like, given the budget is fixed and the completion time was fast, should we prioritize automating task X to maintain speed with fewer resources? It turns a messy debate into a bulleted list of next steps.
It's basically an embedded Scrum Master.
A very, very effective one. It can even draft task assignments based on who in the chat is talking about what.
Which leads us right into the third point: streamlining communication. 20 people.
And in a large group, the chance of misalignment is just exponentially higher.
Shared understanding is the silent killer of productivity.
It really is. When you have 20 people, someone is always distracted or working asynchronously or just misinterpreting some jargon. The AI is positioned as the ultimate clarity engine
How does it do that in real time?
by flagging and confirming decisions instantly. So let's say two technical experts in the chat finally agree on a complex specification after an hour of back and forth. Before the conversation moves on, the AI can pop in with a summary. Something like, decision confirmed for all 20 participants. The API integration will be via secure webhook using OETH 2.0. It creates an immediate, unambiguous record.
That instant documentation is crucial for asynchronous teams, or for anyone who has to step away for a phone call.
Absolutely. You come back not to a giant wall of unread messages, but to an AI-curated list of what was actually decided. It massively cuts down on catch-up time.
It guarantees that all 20 people, no matter their attention level or time zone, share the same factual understanding of what was just agreed upon.
Which fundamentally improves communication quality, not just speed.
And all of this leads to that big overarching benefit: streamlining workflows. We talked about it conceptually, but the real mechanism here is the elimination of context switching.
Yes. Workflow friction, the kind that just drains your brain power, is almost always caused by switching tools. You have your team chat open.
But then you need a summary of last month's data. So you stop what you're doing, open a new browser tab, go to ChatGPT.
You copy the relevant dialogue from the team chat, you paste it, you write a good prompt, you wait for the analysis, you copy that, and then you paste it back into the team chat.
And by then, the team has already moved on to a new topic.
Exactly. It might only be 3 minutes of real time, but it's like a 10-minute cognitive interruption.
So embedding the AI into the chat just eliminates all of those steps.
Completely. The moment the team needs an insight, the AI provides it right there in the flow of conversation. No copying, no pasting. The intelligence layer is just seamlessly integrated right where the communication is happening. It makes the entire team instantly more efficient.
So let's move up a level to the broader, high-level strategic implications. The sources make a really big claim about equity of access. They say this feature will be instrumental in democratizing access to AI insights.
And this is one of the most significant takeaways, especially if you're in a leadership role.
Why is that?
Because it addresses a critical historical bottleneck. I mean, advanced AI tools used to require technical fluency. You had to know how to write a complex prompt. You had to understand the model's limits.
Access was often monopolized by the most tech-savvy person on the team.
Exactly. If I was the prompt engineering whiz, the other 19 people on my team were depending on me to be the gatekeeper to the deepest insights.
But putting the AI right in the group chat, it just blows up that bottleneck.
It does. If the AI is passively observing and actively contributing, every single participant benefits equally from its analysis. A non-technical team member can just ask a simple conversational question.
Like, hey, what does that technical term mean? Or can you summarize those last 3 points for me?
And the AI, which has absorbed all the technical discussion, can just respond instantly. It levels the playing field.
So the team's collective IQ just rises simultaneously, regardless of individual skill levels. The focus shifts from who can operate the tool best to who can best interpret the shared objective insights.
And that, of course, has a direct positive impact on group decision-making. We know that bad group decisions often come from information asymmetry. Some people have the critical context, and others don't.
By having the AI instantly share synthesized insights with all 20 people, the whole group is operating with the same highest level of knowledge.
The AI provides that constant, objective, analytical baseline. It forces the group to address the facts, which should lead to better outcomes.
But let's pause on a potential point of friction there. If the AI becomes the ultimate source of synthesized truth, does that risk disempowering the human facilitator?
That is an excellent question, and it's a vital one for any organization to consider. If the AI is handling the factual logistics, the summaries, the context, the decision tracking, then the role of the human leader has to shift dramatically.
They're no longer managing information.
No, they need to manage the emotional and interpersonal landscape of the team.
So the human leader's skill set moves from organizing data to mediating conflict, encouraging quieter members to speak up, ensuring psychological safety.
Exactly. The AI frees up human brain power for empathy and strategic alignment, which are things an AI can't provide. The human element moves up the value chain.
Is there a risk of AI-induced groupthink?
There is. If we become over-reliant on it, challenging the AI's synthesized narrative could become culturally difficult. The team has to remember to treat it like a brilliant participant, not an infallible oracle.
This democratization of knowledge feels especially important when we talk about remote work. The sources really emphasize that real-time collaboration with AI can redefine productivity in remote work environments.
This is so critical because remote work is, by default, context-starved. Dispersed teams across multiple time zones, they struggle with what we call asynchronous gaps.
Right. The team in Asia makes decisions while the team in Europe is asleep. Context gets lost overnight.
And the AI, being a non-sleeping, non-biased participant, is a perfect solution for that continuity problem.
It maintains the thread of the discussion across those gaps.
Perfectly. Think of a project lead in New York. She signs on 6 hours after the team in Bangalore has logged off for the day. She can't rely on a colleague's rushed, subjective summary of a dynamic conversation.
Instead, she just asks the group chat AI, "What happened since midnight?"
And the AI instantly gives her a concise, objective digest. It details the decisions that were confirmed, the roadblocks that were identified, the tasks that were assigned. It's the ultimate impartial historian and context keeper for that distributed team.
They would radically boost remote productivity. You'd minimize the time spent on manual catch-up and maximize the time spent on actual progress.
It effectively lowers the cost of the time zone difference. It makes the remote team feel much more synchronously connected, even when they aren't.
And finally, a key strategic point is just yes, the availability status. The sources say this launch follows a successful pilot phase.
Which is important. They didn't just throw this 20-person complexity out into the wild. They tested it to make sure the synthesis capabilities could hold up under heavy, multi-threaded use.
And the fact that it's now available to all logged-in users,
Yeah.
that's a strong signal of confidence. This is being presented as a stable, core feature ready for immediate, large-scale adoption.
It suggests they believe they've solved the complex computational load that's required for this to work smoothly.
So we've covered the specs, the applications, the strategic advantages. Let's zoom out one last time and talk about the overall philosophical impact on how teams work. The forces all seem to culminate in this one core idea.
This development emphasizes the potential of AI to strengthen teamwork and communication.
And that word strengthen is key. It implies improvement, not replacement.
It does. And the fundamental question is, how does it strengthen teamwork? It does it by aggressively and effectively managing overload.
Informational and transactional overload.
Exactly. Human teams spend so much time on low-value tasks. Transcribing, taking minutes, finding old data, summarizing long email chains.
That's where all the team's energy gets drained.
Right. So if the AI handles that synthesis, that information flow, that objective summarization, the human team members are liberated to focus on the high-value, uniquely human parts of collaborating.
Which means focusing on the why. The strategic intuition, the negotiation between conflicting priorities, managing team morale.
Yes, the AI manages the what and the when with clinical efficiency. And this objective synthesis boosts communication because it grounds the entire discussion in shared facts. It reduces the emotional labor people waste on just clearing up misunderstandings.
It's the ultimate facilitator.
Yeah.
It allows the team to operate at a higher creative and emotional level because the friction points of just basic coordination are now absorbed by the machine.
And just think about the cumulative productivity gain. In a team of 20, if every single person saves just 20 minutes a day,
Time they would have spent searching for a key decision or structuring a messy brainstorming session.
the exponential efficiency gain across the organization is staggering. And that gain is achieved not by forcing people to work harder, but by intelligently integrating that logistical layer right into their communication flow.
Okay, let's connect the final dots for everyone listening. Just bring together the three big themes we've pulled from the sources.
I think the first crucial finding is that shift from a private utility to a public shared resource. Supporting up to 20 users moves AI from being a personal tool to a strategic collective resource for the whole team.
Right. Second, we've established that the primary benefits are really focused on those high-value, high-friction tasks, intense brainstorming sessions, complex project planning. The AI is aimed at the hardest, messiest parts of daily knowledge work.
And third, the overarching effect is strategically transformative. It empowers non-experts, that's the democratization piece, and it boosts efficiency by killing context switching and communication friction. If this holds up at enterprise scale, the implications for how we staff and manage teams are just profound.
It's the ultimate manifestation of platform integration. It's no longer a tool you have to go visit. It's an intelligence layer that lives right inside your daily workflow. This has been a really extensive deep dive into what, on the surface, looks like a simple feature update, but clearly has massive implications for the future of work. Let's just summarize the key takeaways one last time.
First, the feature scope is clear. A group chat for up to 20 people. That signals a laser focus on functional teams and complex, high-friction knowledge work.
Second, its application is all about that enhancement triad, dramatically improving brainstorming with real-time categorization, optimizing project planning by turning debate into action, and ensuring everyone is on the same page.
And third, the strategic impact is all about access and efficiency, streamlining workflows by killing context switching and democratizing powerful analytical insights for every single team member, leveling the playing field.
And we noted that strong signal of confidence from OpenAI. The feature is out for all users after a successful pilot, confirming it's ready to handle that extremely complex, multi-threaded context for 20 simultaneous users. This isn't a theory anymore. It's here now.
This is really the definitive milestone. It marks AI's formal entry into our collective intelligence platforms. The intelligence layer is now officially embedded inside the team structure.
Which leaves us with a powerful final thought for you to consider. If the AI is now seamlessly managing daily context, handling information logistics, synthesizing complex arguments, and providing objective factual clarity for a group of 20 people, what new essential human competencies does teamwork and leadership now need to focus on? If the AI eliminates the friction of information management, the next frontier for team success must shift entirely. It has to move toward cultivating and managing the emotional landscape of the team, fostering collaborative interpretation of the AI's data, and building profound organizational trust in this integrated non-human intelligence. That shift in focus from logistics management to emotional and strategic leadership, that is the true challenge of this next collaborative era.